The ocean world of Traxia had always been home to the Rygillians, an aquatic species with elongated, eel-like bodies and 6 tentacle-like appendages sprouting from their upper bodies. They were a highly advanced species who had long ago attained the ability to traverse the stars and seed fledgling civilizations across the galaxy as an experiment to see what develops. Millennia ago, the Rygillians had found a small, rocky world orbiting an ordinary yellow star. It had abundant surface water, a breathable atmosphere, and simple single-celled organisms. The Rygillians seeded it with the building blocks of multicellular life and then left, intending to return in a few million years to see if intelligent life had evolved. They called the world Terra and then moved on, seeding other worlds and monitoring their development from afar. Rygillian timekeeping being imprecise and linear compared to how most species mark the passage of centuries. Millennia passed before a survey ship returned to the star system they had labeled Uic on their ancient star maps. When long-range scans showed Uic to be rich with artificial radio signals and even basic space-faring activity, the survey captain immediately dispatched a first-contact delegation in breathable atmospheric suits and portable water tanks. This exceeded their wildest expectations. What the Rygillians found on Uic was astonishing. The dominance of dry land continents meant Rygillians could not freely inhabit the world, requiring their aquatic suits for mobility. But the bipeds known as humans, evolved from the multicelled organisms seeded long ago, had built vast civilizations across Uic. Humans had progressed from bronze tools to digital networks in the blink of a Rygillian eye, advancing further technologically in a few thousand years than the Rygillian Empire had managed in almost 100,000. The first contact delegation soon learned that humans even had basic gravity manipulation, allowing some access to space travel and several small research stations on local airless worlds and moons. Humanity was poised on the cusp of spreading out amongst the stars at a rate unprecedented for such a young civilization. The Rygillians marveled at how their experiment had exceeded all expectations. In accordance with their highest laws, the Rygillians welcomed humanity into the community of spacefaring civilizations, delighted to begin cultural and technological exchanges. Human music and art fascinated Rygillians with how uniquely adapted they were for dry land species. And humanity leapt at the opportunity to rapidly advance their technology through contact with an advanced alien civilization. Within only a few generations, human ships traversed the stars using Rygillian hyperdrives, and humans themselves physically adapted to live comfortably in aquatic environments via genetic alterations. Underwater cities are constructed to allow Rygillians to dwell long-term on Uic and most human colony worlds. The two species share an affinity across their differences, both delighting in exploring the unknown. When the human delegation first arrives aboard the Rygillian Central Command Station Prime Trexia orbiting the capital world, the Rygillian Grand Admiral is astonished to learn that humanity has already spread itself to almost 50 colony systems. On holographic star charts, the expanding bubble of human space dwarfs the ancient Rygillian Empire. Though initially grounded by the Prime Directive, humanity's natural affinity for exploration could not be constrained once they realized they were not alone in the cosmos. Species after species are encountered and befriended as human ships range ever further into uncharted space. One first contact goes disastrously wrong when a human exploration fleet stumbles upon a belligerent civilization intent on conquering and enslaving all in their path for glory. Although peace is their first tactic, humans refuse to stand by while worlds are burned. The ferocious Nautilian Empire, an aquatic species almost resembling Earth's extinct ammonites, believes that they will easily crush this upstart race. But they fatally underestimate human tenacity and flair for thinking outside the box. The brutish Nautilians are outmaneuvered and then outfought once humans rally an alliance of local systems to resist the hostile takeover. When word filters back to Rygillian space, their respect for human resilience and determination grows. Perhaps in time, humanity will even eclipse Rygillians as the dominant spacefaring civilization birthed in this region of the galaxy. A Rygillian delegation tours the ever-growing human colony worlds, marveling at the breathtaking variety of ecosystems and civilizations that humanity spawns across the cosmos. Icy ocean moons, verdant New Edens, vibrant space stations, humans spread inexorably outward in a blossoming wave. One bemused Rygillian sociologist touring a remote human mining colony questions a worker about what drives humanity to such rapid expansion across the stars. The sturdy worker in grime-smeared coveralls just gazes at the stars for a long moment before replying simply, "Because we long to see what wonders we might find out there. We are born explorers and wanderers, shaped by our ancient earth-bound ancestors who constantly sought new horizons." And so humanity spreads inexorably across the Orion Arm over the next few centuries, trailing new stars and worlds in their wake. Dozens, then hundreds of colonies spiraling outward from Old Sol. Their insatiable curiosity and urge to keep seeking over the next horizon helps them befriend more species than the Rygillians made contact with in Eras. Periodically, the two allies clash with hostile civilizations like the Nautilians, who see war and conquest as the only path worth pursuing, but humanity's indomitable spirit prevails each time. And after each threat is turned back, human ships leap eagerly back into the void between stars, heedless of the dangers, but also uncowed. Almost 1,000 years after the Rygllians first marveled at humankind setting their first tender steps beyond their homeworld, Earth has become the pulsating heart of a network of settlements and star systems spanning a significant chunk of the Orion Arm. Allegiance to old Earth remains strong across all human worlds, even the most distant colonial outposts. When the Rygillian Grand Admiral next tours the ever-expanding frontier of human space, she gazes in wonder at vast orbital shipyards that now dwarf even Rygillia Prime's ancient orbital construction facilities. How was it possible for life seated on one obscure world to have expanded so far, so fast? Many Rygillian sociologists speculate endlessly what quirk of fate or evolutionary forces caused life on Terra to forever be drawn to expanding across the heavens. If the Rygillians had known how profound the urge to explore would become ingrained in the human genome when they conducted their experiment ages ago, would they still have nurtured life on that little blue world? As she watches gleaming human starcruisers emerge from the construction slips to leap eagerly towards their first taste of the starry void, the Grand Admiral decides the answer is yes. For all the troubles and tribulations expansion brings, humanity's sheer vivacity and urge to always see what lies just beyond the next horizon brings a joy and vibrancy to the Orion Arm that is hard to resist. So the Rygillians happily ride human coat-tails across the stars, building water-filled enclaves on human worlds and marveling at the feats their experiment continues to achieve. They politely ignore the few human factions who whisper that the Rygillians should no longer limit human technology growth via the old protectorate treaties. There is time enough ahead for such old constraints to fall away. For now, the Rygillians are content to share in humanity's endless quest to explore the wonders of the galaxy. The experiment long ago on one small blue globe at the edge of the Orion Arm has exceeded their wildest expectations. Wherever human ships range, the Rygillians know they will find adventure, glory, and the joyful urge to always seek out the next horizon.